So every evening, this one comes running up and cuddles in, and it's cuddle time, right, Gibson? Is it cuddle time?
Haven't seen any other kids.
It's a cuddle time, buddy. It's cuddle time, isn't it?
Do you have any friends?
This is your favorite time of the day. I gotta say, it's pretty high up there for me too, bud. Gibson and I are just watching the latest episode of Snowpiercer on TNT. It's a good show if you haven't checked it out. Whole idea is the Earth was dealing for global warming, and a group of scientists tried to cool it down and ended up freezing it to the core. And so a pocket of humans are surviving on a train that travels constantly running around the world. Good show. What are you two doing? Oliver, what are you doing? Uh-oh. Is it cuddle time? Well, Dusty, because it's not been out for a long time, I did get this Mamma Jamma rebuilt. We got several Linux machines, file server, a Windows machine, and really the amount of content I've been creating has necessitated it for storage. And well, there's a lot of dusty things here because I've been out in storage, so I need to clean them off. And I finally broke down, bought a printer, realized, hey, I don't do a lot with color printing or photographs. I just do manuals and old texts. So I splurged and bought a black and white laser printer. And I gotta tell you, I love it. Hopefully it says I can print like 3,000 pages. Yeah, I know I'm a little old school for wanting to print pages, but I don't know, there's just something rewarding about holding some sort of text in your hand as opposed to reading it on a tablet or a phone. You know, a lot of stuff I save the paper, but for really important things. And you know, there's legal documents and stuff that I need. I do that as well. I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm trying to build a test desk for ham radio. You know, some of this was showing up that I was rearranging in a previous video. I tried to power up the not 706, the Yaesu 857, and blew a circuit. So I guess having it this close, probably on the same circuit as the servers, is not going to work well. So my thought is, I've got a couple of wonderful gel cell batteries from a friend of mine, fans call sign AA5F, that still are holding charge like champions. And I thought I'd run the radio equipment off of that. And that's a ham radio clock, or soon again will be. I found this guy in storage. Fond memories with my very good friend Robert Keller. We went to go see Chip Coffee from Paranormal State, or at least he was on that show and made appearances. Really, really cool paranormal investigator. And it's time for me to go off to editing. So this is going to be a little weird because the show is going to end with events that took place before this. But remember, it's the beauty of film, America. In actuality, I'm really glad I'm in my office because I realized I have a meeting tonight that I forgot all about. And I don't know what it is about this particular one. I'm glad I edit on Saturday. Well, actually, you know what? Time warp. It's not Sunday. It's Saturday. So tomorrow, I have a meeting. Man, I gotta slow down. It's Sunday, and late in the evening, we just got back from Wisconsin, where we helped my in-laws celebrate their 50th. And I know I promised that I would bring out a couple videos this week because I knew I wouldn't get one out last week. But truthfully, I haven't had a whole lot of time to film. I've just kind of been enjoying time with family, and there were some mishaps that also kept from filming, so I happened to realize this afternoon while editing that this next weekend Amanda works. So I thought, well, I better get back out in the garage and see if I can't get that trim ring on the headlight. So let's get at it. And we're back with Olivia coming back from the Dakotas. While I was out there, I did pick up a lambskin. I am told by a great authority that this is like having air conditioning on your butt. So I'm excited to give it a try. There might have also been a mishap with the new saddlebags. Oh well, I guess I got it out of my system. And you really can't see it, I guess, so it is what it is. In the box on the floor are the originals that are going back to be repainted custom anyway, and these were just gonna be there for stock look. A friend of mine says that this adds character, and not much you can do with mishaps. As a friend of mine says, there are two types of bikers in this world, and well, you know, I ride, so I know which one I am. So, let's get back at the headlights. We had some mishaps trying to put on this Harley Davidson visor ring while we were in the Dakotas, but we're going to try it again now that we're back in the garage. Okay, so one of the first things we have to do is there's a little screw on the bottom of the headlight that we're going to have to undo. Now, the one I had seemed to be somewhat stripped out, and I did buy some replacements, and it seemed to work out. As you saw in our last video, the headlight receiver had a bolt vibrate out. I've now put in another Hogworks receiver in there. This one's black, and I'm gonna actually back the bike up and try to point the headlight and make sure that I've got a basic good height on that headlight. Okay, so here's the deal. I have measured away from a closed garage door 25 feet. The top of my headlight is around 38 inches, and that piece of black tape is at 34 inches, which is about 90% of what my headlight is 25 feet away. And that is supposed to be the formula for aiming your headlight. Now the good news is it looks like right and left to be right in adjustment, so it's just height we have to worry about, and the tool for that job is an Allen wrench. And rather than adjust the top screw out to point it down, because I think it's too high right now, I'm going to equally adjust and tension the side screws. Remember, I said left and right was perfect, so I don't want to throw that out of alignment. I'm just going to use the position of the Allen wrench to sort of help me with that. So I did a 180 degree turn there. I'll go over to this side. And likewise, do 180 degrees. Try it again over here. 180 degrees. Over here. Once again, about 180 degrees. We'll see how that works. Okay, and as you can see, the light's just hitting the top of that. If I go on with the brights, I think we're looking pretty good. That should be about straight, I think. So I think we're doing pretty decent. Now that we've got that all set up, what we're gonna do next is loosely put the ring back on. Then I'm gonna try to put on the visor. And I think we got it. It's a dirty bike that needs a wash, but new visor put on the headlight. That's what it looks like, all lit up. I'll take her for a quick ride. It is the end of a long week, and here's the bullet that we tried in the Dakotas. When I got home, I was looking for something kind of special for a friend of mine and found this filibuster at one of the local stores. This is a rye whiskey, finished in French oak barrels. It's batch number 7. So this is a distillery out of Virginia. They used to be in DC. That's the name Filibuster, and again, this is a dual cask rye whiskey finished in French oak barrels. We're going to give it a shot. It's 45% alcohol by volume, and we'll give this a quick pour. Into the tumbler we go, because I don't have any fancy glasses yet. I'm working on that. And because I'm going to probably try a little bit neat and put in some ice and see what that does. I've only really done rye in mixed drinks in the past, so this will be kind of new to me. I'll give her a little bit of a swirl. We'll take a quick sniff and give it some nose. And I think, I'm new to this, and I think a lot of the guys that do this are kind of making stuff up, but in this case, I actually get some pear, maybe a little orange, very citrus. And that's about all I can say. Oh, that's pleasant. So the pear is coming out in the taste. A little bit of spice, that's the rye. This is really weird. Now that I'm focusing on it, I'm getting a little bit of like chocolate cupcake. Definitely chocolate. That pear's coming through. It's not harsh at all. This is really good. Here's the beverage choice after the whiskey, served in the right kind of medium. There's nothing like root beer, even though 2 of my friends' wives don't like the smell of root beer. What kind of craziness is that? And for my friend Matt on ADHD Whiskey, America. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Rochester, and Amanda's working, so I spent the day with the girls, bought some collectibles, and I tried to go get rid of some of my magic cards. Now, probably, 6 years ago, I sold the first grouping of them I had, and managed to pay for most of my first Sportster. And I seem to have converted to playing online, and I'm not playing with cards nearly as much. So I thought it was time to do it again. And to get into some of the nuances, I have a tendency to like drafts, and I don't like playing constructed. So when I go to drafts, I get a bunch of cards. They compile in my basement. Some of them are valuable, some of them are not. And well, with time, I end up getting rid of them. Unfortunately, COVID has had its effects, and the shop I had in mind is no longer in business. So either I take a trip now up to the Twin Cities to a couple of the shops that I know up there, or it's off to eBay we go. And I don't want to do a sales pitch, but These are some of the more valuable ones that I had, and I have some unopened box kits, pre-constructed decks. And it's a fun game. These are magic cards. If you ever see these at a garage sale, you should definitely pick them up. They are very collectible. You'd be surprised at how much money you can make on some of them. Hey gang, I'm in the dungeon, and for a while I've been talking about I need to get back into the backyard and do some detecting. I'm standing in an area that if I look up, my house is an interesting place. It was built in 2009, and part of it was built onto an old farmhouse. Now, I don't know exactly how old. I can see my neighbor's house, and it's, I'm going to guess somewhere from the 1800s. And so I've metal detected in my backyard before and have found square nails. And I thought they were kind of interesting. I kept them around for a while and ended up getting rid of them. And I regret it now because I realize how old those artifacts are. So it's been a while, and I'm downstairs right now because I'm finally getting off my duff. I'm going to dust off the Garrett. Holy crap, it's been a while since I've used it. Hopefully it still works. Yeah, so it powers up, and there's some sand on it. And based on the fact that I think the last time I used this was on a beach. We're going to go out and give her a shot. Look for some of the rest of that gear. I actually bought a Garrett bag, so we'll take that out. And I've got a couple of different options for pin pointers. This is a Harbor Freight special. We're going to leave that right here. But back in here, I've got the actual Garrett pin pointer, which I'm not showing very well, so we'll fix that. And I've got a nice little spade right there too for doing some digging. Now somewhere in my kit, by the way, we're looking at a shelf full of bags that I've used as various iterations of my motorcycle trips. It used to be a really awesome military surplus. There's some paracord that's got some kindling in the center. But I missed that store. I wish it were still here. It had lots of good options for putting on my bike and in saddlebags and trying to organize my stuff. So first off, my gear has gotten a little fancier since last time I did this. And I already it's obvious that there's a lot to juggle and carry around. So, but we'll see what we can do. It's going to be hard to film this. Might have to make a few different trips. It's also super hot in Minnesota right now. It's hotter here than it has been in Florida. And it's humid. Anyway, I'm not gonna film looking for stuff. I'm gonna stay near the house. But I will show you the yard, and I am going to sweep with the detector. When I found stuff last time, it was fairly near the house. Okay, I've got a high tone. It's gonna be right about there. Okay, double-edged sword. So, first hole dug this season, we pulled out a piece of siding, and well, you know, I'm expecting we'll find a lot of stuff by the house. unfortunate thing is when they constructed the house, they probably have a bunch of stuff in the ground. So on we go. And the ground is really hard, mainly because of the heat, I would imagine, and no rain. So I'm going to try to avoid a lecture from my lovely bride and go out closer to the fields. Finally went to get the big guns because the ground is so hard. I'm lucky that I'm home, so that's not a big deal. And the spade I'm carrying right now is not really a Garrett. I didn't want to wreck it with the ground being as hard as it is. So we're gonna mosey out towards the fields. I know there is a burn pile, or was, so I'm gonna try to avoid that, and we'll see if I pick up on anything else. Amanda's about to go to work, so this might be the spoils for the day, but I guess looking at the bright side, I can try to get it thrown away, and I guess it's just another piece of scrap metal that won't throw me off in the future. Okay, we're further from the house. It's already way easier to dig. I've got a way better plug, so probably won't get into nearly the trouble. And it's pretty gone, but I've got some kind of artifact here. First I thought it might be some sort of dog tag or license. It's got an interesting bobble on this end, and there's some kind of hole there. Thought maybe some kind of license plate. I don't see any markings, although there's like some waviness in the metal. I don't know. If you know what I'm looking at, tell me in the comments. Well, as much as I want to stay outside, seeing that little jailbird in her pajamas means Amanda's getting ready to go, and it's time for me to go inside. I put the spade away and take a look a little bit at the gardens. It looks like we got some stuff coming in. Need to do some weeding for sure. This is a neat little cedar project I did where I capped off an old in-ground sandbox and made it into a planter box. And if I walk over this way, we've got another one that I did a year or two ago. Looks like Amanda's got some onions in it. And I know we planted radishes, so I'm gonna guess there's some radishes. She put some marigolds in there too. And we got some rows in our bigger garden, watermelons, and I think she did pumpkins and tomatoes back there. I had asked, there's some squash. I asked for corn because I think they're gonna rotate corn. I'm not sure if she did that or not. Beggars can't be choosers. And I didn't get to it before it was too late. So I owe her a great thank you for what she did get planted. And I think Nissa helped her too. So it'll be fun to see where that goes. I've got another planter that we've had for a while over there, so we'll see if I can't maybe get that put into the mix this year. There's some dirt pile that I can grab some dirt. Before I can do any of that, like I said, my friend Andrea has done a bang-up job with the painting on the bike build, and I've had the girls this weekend. Next weekend is free, except for band practice. I'm going to try to get down to the camper one of the days during the week, get it set up, de-winterize, about time, right? June. And so next weekend I might get a full day, and who knows. This week's been an interesting one. If it's that way next week, I might take an extra day off and see if I can't get some things done around here. So friends, thank you for following me. I know there's 1.5 billion different things that I do. This is my real world. I have so many interests. I try to do a little bit with each of them and learn every day. Esotericism and bikes and gardens and hobby farms and animals and writing and computers. We only have so much time, and there's so many things to learn and experience. Enjoy your time here. And as I always leave you with, remember to see the beautiful things that are around you every day.